Hello everyone, if you aren't on Twitter, you probably did not see the week of Steve buffs done by Why Do, or Why Do Bad Things Happen to Good People, so I want to go over all of them. As a Steve enjoyer myself, as a Steve connoisseur, someone that enjoys the character, at least playing him, I want to go over each of the techs, talk about them, rate them in terms of how good they are, how easy they are, and then basically just go over all of the techs. There were 7 techs with actually a secret 8th one that wasn't by Why Do, that was by Rockman, and we're going to be going over all of them right here. First off, we gotta watch them. The first one, called Crud.
Oh my god, you can do that from a fucking down throw?
So this is crazy. C-stick, reverse up tilt after down throw. It is insanely good, in my opinion. And it works on basically every character. The only characters it doesn't really work on are, I think, yeah, like Cloud specifically because he low profiles it. So those are the 3 characters it doesn't work on. Cloud, sorry, you can't see because of my camera. Cloud, Sheik, and Pichu. That's it, it works on every other character. And the Cloud one's actually, like, Cloud is a pretty big deal that it doesn't work on him because Cloud is like one of Steve's worst matchup, if not his worst matchup. Of course, as it says, axe combos are better than other combos, absolutely, so. And yeah, again, box is a little bit easier, so crazy good. And that is just the first one. So let's talk about it. I'm gonna be showing everything just on Mario. He's just gonna be my base character that I'm gonna be showing it on. So a lot of damage, right? Just like off the bat, compared to something like this, which like technically can get a lot of damage, but as you can see, like SDI is on. So like technically you can do more, but basically this just eliminates, like I'm gonna go into the most, the highest amount of SDI. And I'm gonna be doing SDI away, right? So SDI strength, high. So like, if someone has really good SDI, down throw fair doesn't really work. At most, I think you get like down throw fair, down smash. Sometimes, but like, I don't even think it works a low percent. So if someone's SDI is really good, they can kill down throw fair combos, which are most of the combos you have. But with this SDI, let's get the crud. Okay, so now I know where they're going. Like, as you can see, it's still very much so, a lot of damage. Pretty easy. A lot of damage. Oh, but actually, let me check this with different materials. Like, that's the normal, right? That's like with no tech. Like with no additional tech. Honestly, if you want to keep it like super simple, you just do this and then end with the up smash. Like, 5 to 73 is crazy. Like, I know I can do more but like, I'm not very good at nil 2 on this yet. But the point is, this is like with max DI, where like literally this won't work, right? Like, I think at most you get like dash attack. Like, which is still decent damage, right? Nothing compared to this damage. Oh my god. Even again, like just the basic stuff. I mean, even you get like just that. Oh, it didn't kill. Okay, well, it doesn't kill, so that's fine. But either way, a ton of damage, as you can kind of see. So, Crud's crazy. Like, I'm sure there are different combos you can get with varying tool types and varying platform stuff like that. So, that was the first section. Let's go on to the second buff. Also, I like how his tag is Fortnite. Yeah, hard as most controllers, but I got box, so it doesn't matter. So it's to the right and then the left. Tilt back for 1 frame, tilt forward slightly to walk, tilt full forward to speed up. The Wivid, it's basically Steve exclusive. Obviously the first one is very Steve exclusive. This is not very universal. The first one was obviously just a Steve thing because it's comboing with Steve. The second one I think is useful on like 5 or so characters, which isn't a lot. So let's look at it and see if it's useful. Not to turn around with it, right? So if it's this way, it's left, right, hold, like, oh, yeah, it's pretty easy on box. Got it. There we go. So honestly, that is pretty useful. But it's not the most useful thing. I think that's like very like matchups niche specific. Yeah, so like it's pretty niche. It's not super useful. I would give this one in terms of difficulty, that's pretty high, especially if you go on game controller, it's very high. On box, it's a little finicky. So I would definitely give this one like a 7 out of 10 difficulty because it's like uneasy and like the inputs are kind of weird. And the usefulness is maybe like a 4 out of 10, not the biggest deal. So yeah, Crud, in my opinion, is absolutely insane. Being able to go for up tilts, a free like 70% on a grab that is basically SDI independent is insane. Yeah, could you SDI up out of some of the combos, like the most optimal combos? Maybe, but then if you're SDIing up, you're not actually doing anything to the forward air loops, which kind of makes it just like, hey, you have to guess which one is going to happen, which to me is insane. For usefulness, I think Crud is like a 9 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10. That's like how people should combo, unless it's like an edge guarding type of matchup like Cloud or Aegis. In terms of ease, it's pretty easy. You just have to flick your C-stick in the corner. It's obviously will be very easy on box, but it's also easy on GameCube. Just learn how to flick in your corners, which you should be doing anyway for like turnaround up tilts and stuff like that. So yeah, pretty easy, very good. And now let's go to day number 3. Oh, is this just like the various one? Yeah, this is a lot of stuff. Because so much Steve tech has existed for a long time. Like, I've been vaguely aware of most of this because I follow a lot of the Steve players. Yeah, the neutral B one is crazy. I'm just gonna like talk about the ratings in the video because they're like, I'm not gonna do all of them because there's a lot. But the getting off the ledge is incredibly good. Steve already is kind of difficult to ledge trap because you have ledge jump into jab, you have, you know, just drop off with like up airs and like make blocks under the stage. You have minecart you have to respect, you have downer you have to respect, the normal ledge options, and then now it's like, hey, the timings are different. This is very useful, very easy, very good. Especially when you do like the auto cancel up airs, like these are probably like safe on shield. Like I want to hit someone with that fair real quick. That is what I want to do. Because again, his normal double jump looks like this, which is like much higher, like way less safe, right? That's why I feel like, yeah, like -10 is kind of crazy off the ledge. -9 is insane. Oh, that's crazy. And again, this is with wood. Yeah, like that's really safe. And considering like the strength of Steve's bear, if it's like a diamond back air, like that's gonna just be ridiculous. Like, look at that, -5 off ledge. I love when I get that with Pikachu, and my move's not a kill move. Yeah, and like if you're hitting that, like, yeah, yikes. Auto cancel in different ways, and again, you still have to be ready for like, you know, normal stuff like this, which is insane. So yeah, this one's crazy. Like on top of everything else you have to be ready for, nil shield is also crazy. Like this is literally just another example. Like you waited for the up air, you nil shield, try to do your out of shield, and then take 1,000,000,000%. Like, nils are just very useful in general, so I like this a lot. And if they go for a dash grab, they hit the block. Again, all of these are good. Down air refreshing ledge is kind of insane, actually. I don't know why it does that. So yeah, sometimes if it's worth, because you're gonna die after a ledge trump, just use an anvil. You can also, I mean, do your, like, stalling off stage, but yeah, it's crazy. I legitimately did not know this. This one with the, you can actually mine, that's kind of crazy. The nil there is also crazy. So good. And yeah, TNT, if you hit down B or B, I forget which one. I think it's down B. You fall through it so you don't have to land on the platform. That's, again, very good. Like, all of these are just very useful, right? I don't know if I like this one. It's funny, but I don't know if I like it. I'm also bad with TNT in general. But then you get to grab the ledge and stuff, especially when you have box angles, which is kind of nuts. So, just another layer of like confusion, which is always nice, right? Confusion is literally always good because that's one of the things about Steve is just having to be ready for all that. So again, all of those are different techs, but either way, I would still give it like, again, if you can do all of them and remember all of them, like that's one of the reasons why Steve is actually very hard is because he has so much stuff he can do. So like you're probably not going to do all that, but all those techs are pretty useful in general. So yeah, like definitely It's hard to rate them because there are a bunch of different things. I definitely like the shortening on ledge. I've been doing that as I've been playing Steve more recently, which is very, very good. So, I mean, overall, I would say like a culmination of all those is like an 8 out of 10, but varying levels of difficulty, right? Yeah, this is crazy. Why is that auto cancel? Next one, day 4.
There's also a short coyote jump. The timing is really
Coyote jumps are very useful. I like coyote jumps a lot. I liked them before this. I do them a decent amount. But easy, short coyote jumps, because the short ones are the hardest ones. You have to be holding down. I love the fact that I use box, so this is literally like for me. Get a perfect fast fall, and then you can just do the tech. Because basically all you're doing is doing the tech off of a, you're doing it off of a platform. Like you're just running off of a platform. And general coyote jump is useful for like pretty niche things, but on the platforms, especially with the short ones, definitely more useful with more characters. So you want a low jump squat for sure, and then Steve can do that. Like this is like universally useful, which is good. So yeah, let's check that out really quick in-game and see how useful it is. So again, it is doable with every character because basically what you're going to be doing is doing like a dash towards the ledge, and if you let go of forward, you don't go off of it, right? You basically get to the very edge where you'll generally do your teeter animation. Steve just doesn't really have a good one. So you basically do that, and then down forward, and then jump immediately, which is crazy. Then on box, you can do the backwards one. The crazy auto cancel. Yeah, so this is just like coyote jump, which again is, you know, otherwise useful for just like, you know, when you're at the very edge of a platform, you just get rid of your jump squat, which is very useful. Basically, being able to do it consistently off of platforms makes it a little bit more useful for like low jump characters. And then of course, you can do it with Steve Block, which is kind of insane. You just get like different types of pressure, right? Like someone's like, let's say where the Mario is, right? So like you're here and then you just kind of pressure him on the platform. That's on... Like, I don't know the Steve grid well enough to, like, know exactly where to be. You get some weird stuff, right? This is definitely also, it's universal, and it's not super difficult, even without box. Like, it's easier with box, especially the backward version. But, like, the forward one is still very useful for a lot of characters. Like, most of this showcase wasn't even Steve. But, of course, because Steve can make blocks, it is more useful, right? But yeah, still very good. The tech overall, in my opinion, it's universal. It's not super niche, so I would give it definitely probably like a 6 out of 10, 5 out of 10 execution. But like in terms of usefulness, it's definitely a varying level of usefulness for each character, but it's a universal thing, so I'm definitely going to say it's at least like a 6 out of 10 useful. Just maybe not the most important tech for Steve, but it is still like really good because you can make blocks and kind of pressure in different ways, you know what I'm saying? Like instead of needing to be ready only for this, right? It's like, oh, you're gonna jump over the minecart once they build a block. You're like, cool, well they built a block, and then they just like swing this weird ass back air at you. Like a lot of just, again, varied pressure. And the thing about Steve is you want to not let him do his different stuff. So pretty useful. Again, do I know when it's going to be useful for Steve? Hell no. I still try to play normal Steve. I don't even see people do like nil 2 grab on platform. Like this is broken. Oh shit, that grabs there. Lol. Like I don't even see people do like normal stuff. So like, it's hard to know when it's useful because so many of his situations are like niche, unless you get into like the obviously it's like I'm gonna mash up tilt on someone's shield, right? Next up, we got Salt. Yucky. Shielded ledge trump. I actually can also do this with Pikachu with quick attack, and it is kind of crazy because there's a lot of up Bs that you have to shield. Like their up B, like Shulk or Aegis, and you can just like grab the ledge immediately, which is kind of crazy. And this also seems pretty easy. It's crazy you can actually just turn it into a bait and then hit them for it. That's insane. Ooh, I love that. He got his invincibility back. That's crazy. Which again, that's kind of like just a Pikachu thing as well. So, yeah, so let's talk about Salt and show it in game. So it just looks like it's, what is it? Just short hop B reverse up B? Oh, wow, that's really easy. So you can't do it, so you have to be facing here. And again, this is very scary because a lot of times people see Steve and like they'll think down tilt's coming, or they'll think like dash, like down smash is coming, or they're gonna be like, oh, well now you're gonna do like this, blah, and just, you know, it adds another layer. So Steve finally just goes like, oh, actually shield, whoops. Like between all of this, it's just like, boop, boop, grab ledge, and then again, this will kill, like, I mean, diamond back air is like messed up. So like, this is literally less percent than like a normal up tilt combo. So yeah, this one's crazy. I do think, again, ledge trumps are niche in general, but a way to add another layer of ledge trumping is kind of crazy. And again, there are plenty of amazing combos you can get with just like different types of drop-offs. So yeah, this one in terms of applicability, or in terms of ease of use, it's pretty easy. I'm bad at it because I always do things too fast. Usefulness, I would definitely say, because it's a trump, I'm just gonna say it's a 5 or 6 out of 10. But that's mostly because trumps are already pretty niche when you can just kind of, you know, Steve's ledge trapping is already crazy, right? Oh wait, can you do the... You can do the other one off of Anvil. I didn't even think about it. No, that's crazy. I didn't even think about that. Oh, Lord. Okay. Yeah, Steve's crazy. Okay, that was the week of Steve buffs. Day 5. Let's go to day 6. Footstool, dare, air dodge, option select, which is actually, you don't have to just do down air. I think down air is like, it does the air dodge direction, so you have to be holding down, but I'm pretty sure you can technically do any aerial as long as you are also okay with reacting with anything else. Yeah, footstool out of shield is already really, really good. So basically what an option select is, in case you aren't aware, is basically you get, with the same inputs, you get different things depending on what happens, right? So the situation being you get a footstool or you don't get a footstool, I can do the same exact timing. Like Waidu in his video has the CPU doing it with the exact same inputs, and it's just relative different closeness. Because footstool has this animation, right? Like I'll explain it really quick. Because footstool has this animation, right? With 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's 9 frames of you're stuck in footstool lag, which is why the double jump came out on the 10th frame. And basically the way that, you know, this is kind of an interaction of option select only working because of how the input priority works in this game. So if you are in the air and you do an aerial, so I'm gonna hit A, I'm gonna hit down A and down B at the same time. What's gonna happen is you get down B, right? So specials are greater than attacks, and I'm pretty sure air dodges are greater than attacks. So again, I'm gonna do air dodge and attack, and I'm air dodging, right? It's hard to, I mean, he's invincible. I'm doing an air dodge. It's hard to tell because Steve's animations are kind of non-existent, but I'm hitting shield and A at the same time, and I'm getting an air dodge, right? Basically what this means is because certain things will prioritize when you get it or not, if you essentially, in your 9 frames of the footstool, so basically in those 9 frames, if you are going to input air dodge and then down air, right? So I do this, and then I need to hold down. I'll get down air because I'm hitting air dodge first, letting go of it, and then by the time the animation is over, my down air comes out. But if I don't hit him at all, and I still do down and A, like I'm literally gonna do them at the same time, right? So basically, I can hold whatever direction I want, and then hit shield, and then the C stick, right? You see RB, which is my shield button, which is kind of nice. And then if I miss, as you just saw, I will get anvil instead because I'm hitting shield first. Oops. Because I'm hitting shield first, which means that I will basically just get air dodge. But if I hit the footstool, my air dodge input gets eaten because of the time between things. I don't know why. Oh, it's because the anvil's disappearing. Because of the time in between them, I'll get my down air. And again, this is very useful. You can option select with other things. It doesn't have to just be with down air. Down air just keeps the safest air dodge angle. But yes, it's very good. It is very, very, very useful. It is also very universal because this is literally good with quite like anyone that has a footstool out of shield thing. It's the most useful for downers because, or like down Bs, because you are like, you know, option selecting a air dodge like down to the left. But again, if you're like doing a side B, oh no, you do side B this way and you hit like this and you hit fucking footstool shield side B and you get side B. So like Bowser Jr., you're fine. You know what I'm saying? So this is crazy. In my opinion, very useful, not very hard. People don't do option selects in general in this game. But I think in terms of ease, this is like a 3 out of 10. It's as hard as footstool out of shield stuff is, but like it's not more difficult because you just add one input. And then in terms of usefulness, I would say this is probably like, especially for Steve, it's like a 7 or an 8. Especially because you can kind of do things and then have your blocks as Waidu showed with like 1 and 3, which is kind of crazy. And then do like, so you can like kind of do this and then like air dodge and get the ledge cancel thing that Steve gets, which is kind of crazy. Which again, I'm not good enough at all that to kind of put it all together at the moment. But yeah, it's insane. Super dumb. I would definitely say for Steve, this is like at least a 7 out of 10 usefulness. So that was day 6, I think. Let's go to the next one. So this is the final day of the week of Steve buffs from Waidu. Again, I will be going over one more as well. So yeah. See, he gets to air dodge way earlier, which is insane. This is ridiculous. On reaction, you can basically deal with projectiles. I don't really like the sword version as much, although it is still useful. But this one's insane. Like, this is ridiculous. I think Crud was the most useful one by far before this, and this one blew it out of the water. This one is insanely good. It's so stupid, dude. This is actually insanely good. I'm not saying anything just because it's actually ridiculous. It is so dumb. Let's talk about it. So again, I will go into the frame data of stuff just to make sure y'all understand how dumb this is, right? So when you're mining, stop mining. I'm gonna hold shield here, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Shield comes out on 10, right? And Steve always has lag, which means that sometimes if you're not sure what someone's going to do, if you're a Steve player, you're preemptively stopping your mining to either like build blocks or, you know, just otherwise be scared because you have to be ready for it, because a frame 10 input when you're also dealing with your reaction time is pretty slow, right? Like that's like someone doing a dash attack on you and you being like, or like a projectile and you're like, I'm going to up smash this projectile, especially when you're already locked into doing something. It's not like you're just doing nothing, right? Which is pretty difficult. Again, let's do it again. Mining, letting go of this, letting go of mining, jump, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, now air dodge, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Invincibility on 12, right? Invincibility on 12 is, again, pretty slow. But if with this tech, forgot how the tech works, 1, 2, 3, 4, air dodge, 5, 6, 7. 7 from 12 is a huge difference. 7 from 10 is even faster, right? So you can be evasive on this. I literally played against Zai or Z, I don't know how to pronounce their tag, the Louisiana Paladin, who is incredibly good, and I did this against auto reticles multiple times. So the thing is, if you are able to mine longer and you're not really scared about projectiles because you can just react to it, right? Like, if you are just like doing this normally, it's really fast. It is insanely fast. And the thing is, if you are able to hold mine for even 5 to 6 frames longer, that is a much higher potential of you getting your next block before you do your defensive option, right? And the thing is, if you are more likely to get access to the next mat, that means that you are more likely getting closer to gold or getting the gold or getting your diamond, which again, like the amount of times that I, as a Steve, like playing Steve, have been one short of getting my gold or diamond and then get put in disadvantage for a long time and die, or like I was one away from getting an iron and I don't have an iron and I get, you know, put in disadvantage without the ability to use anvil or minecart is huge. So the fact that you can just be like, la-di-da-di-da, I'm just reacting to projectiles or I'll react to someone get close, is absolutely insane. Do you get a lot of lag after air dodging? It's just a normal air dodge, but the thing is, I don't really necessarily think that this is going to be useful versus like attacking moves, right? Because if someone attacks you, they're able to just follow your air dodge. But again, you do, of course, have the option to air dodge in multiple different directions, especially if you're like near the ledge. Being able to do like this is kind of, whoops. Like if you're kind of like mining near the ledge and being able to just like go to the ledge is kind of crazy, right? Or do like a very slight up angle. I think if I do the 1 and 3 one, I can do that and then ledge cancel, right? Which is kind of crazy. And then I get to minecart off of that. I'm just not very good at doing this tech. Like, what? That's insane. right? That's crazy. It has to be like a slight up angle, which I have already mapped to my box because of Pika. So you literally get to be like, you know, again, let's pretend Mario's here, right? So it's like la-di-da-di-da, whoosh, bop, bop, and then, you know, whatever. Insane. Like, so dumb. This one is the most useful one by far because this influences a lot of matchups because Steve, a lot of times, can have difficulty with zoner projectiles that do well versus block or that have a lot of like if a combination of a character has a projectile and also has a good way to deal with blocks, then you don't really feel comfortable going for blocks because they're just gonna like break it like an Ivysaur fair. So you don't want to do that, and then you kind of just like have to deal with Razor Leaf, but now you are able to just be like, boop, it's fine. Like, it's fine. Like, okay, Razor Leaf went through me. Razor Leaf went through me, and then you just keep mining. It's insane. It's so good. It is ridiculously good. I think in terms of difficulty, this is like a 3 out of 10. It's not difficult. You just have to learn the timing, which is literally the same exact timing for this because you have to already just be in the air when you hit the shield button. Because if you do it a little early, you will just start creating blocks because the shield input just like doesn't come out. This is insane. And then in terms of usefulness, this is at least a 9 or 10 out of 10. Like, it is at least a 9, it is probably a 10. It's so messed up. Like, it is insanely good. This is so influential for so many, like, borderline even or, like, high-stress situations. Like, I can just be mining and then be like, oh, there is the projectile. I'm, like, playing, like, around their normal moves and they back up and do a projectile and you just say no. That's crazy. That's so good. So stupid. The best thing that he showed, because this is useful at all percents. Crud is at least only useful at 0. You can do aerials. I think you have to have AB Smash on to do those. Oh, you don't. Oh. Wait, what? I didn't know that. I must not have seen that. Hold on. So normally if you do jump, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I'm gonna do back air, 7, 8, 9, 10. Back air comes out on 10, which means that hitbox comes out 11, 12, 13, 14. Wait, the back air animation starts on 10, relative to mining. Okay, so now jump, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Also got TBC somehow. Can you do it on 4? It has to be on 5. Yeah, okay, so it has to be on 5. But 5 compared to 10 is really fast, especially considering, oh, that's the useful thing. It's not the air dodge that's useful versus like aerials. It's like people jumping and then you just do this. Holy shit. Oh. So yeah, in terms of usefulness, this is 11 out of 10. Holy shit. I didn't realize you could do that. Whoa, I didn't know that. Yeah, that's an 11 out of 10 usefulness. Again, the difficulty is a 2. It's actually not hard, like the more I'm doing it. It's just you have to learn the timing. So like against projectiles, you do this. Against people jumping at you, you can be like, I'm mining. Like, especially if you're mining backwards, just boop. And while technically that was it for the why do ones, again, I would say Mad, which is the last thing, is greater than Crud. And whatever the rankings I have, I'll put them on the screen here because I don't remember what I said. Now let's look at Rockman's Steve buff. So this is day 8. Technically, which is basically just a way to make things more punishable on shield or worse. When aerials have a lot of lag, I mean, people probably notice this normally, but using the crafting table extends the, you know, hit lag. Because if they have to go through 2 things of hit lag, that's 6 or 7 frames that makes something more punishable, which is wild. Honestly, this makes a lot of sense. Like, this one is like intuitive. It's just, I guess not something I really thought about of just like, of course it uses your resources because spawning crafting table does take up resources, but this is wild. It's just like utilizing the crafting tables more. There's also this other tech with crafting table that I'll show in a second. Getting rid of Cyclops is also huge, which is kind of crazy. But again, this is definitely more situational, but for the situations that it is good in, whoa. Like making Cloud's forward air less safe on shield if they're spacing it, so that way you don't have to like only footstool them out of shield, is kind of wild. So honestly, between this, because also there's another tech that's been just universal for Steve forever, right? Like, so shield drop is 11 frames, right? So you let go of shield, and then I'm gonna like hit A. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hit A, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Swords should come out. 12, right? So what Steve can do also, because his input for getting rid of crafting table, or sorry, spawning crafting table is shield and B, is he can actually add a shield, spawn crafting table, frame 1, let go of shield. I'm gonna hit jab on frame like 3. This is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, And the sword comes out on 8 instead of 12, which again is 4 frames faster. Just a 4-frame difference, and those 4 frames can matter a lot, especially if you're already doing this tech, right? Like someone hits your shield and you just go boop. Again, you can do this with other ground moves as well. I'm gonna get rid of the hold this thing. You can do that, which again, it looks way faster than it is because like even like drop shield forward smash looks pretty fast. Kind of nuts. And again, that's not new Steve tech. That's like day like -3 Steve tech. Not actually that one. But yeah, just all these things combined just add to like a ridiculous combination of things. Steve is insane. If you don't think Steve's the best character in the game, you're tripping. This character is broken. But yeah, I would definitely recommend, I mean, the difficulty of this tech isn't hard. It's situationally hard because you have to be reacting with crafting table, which is kind of awkward. But if it's something you learn how to do, like it's not difficult at all because you just spawn crafting table, which is shield and B, which is a 0 out of 10 difficulty because you need to do this when you play Steve. And then the usefulness of that one, it's probably like a 4 to a 6, somewhere around there. Depends on the matchup, right? Like some matchups it's pretty useless. And then other matchups it's like important as hell, like Hero, Incineroar, Cloud, like characters that are going to swing on you with like a sword forward air, hugely important. Like you can do that on Ivysaur, which I know is a matchup a lot of Steves complain about, and now suddenly forward air is not safe. That's wild. That's crazy. So yeah, definitely super important, I think. Yeah, Steve is crazy. He's really, really good. Thanks for subscribing. I appreciate it. I'll see you all next time.